Do you think I'm an exotic beauty?
Never say that ever again. Okay, dead ass, bro. Listen, man. I get it. Let me just lower this. Okay. Yeah, actually, no. That's not very fair. Let me just put it to
bro.
hear me out. I know that you're like Asian, but you're not from Asia. Okay, I just want you to know if anyone ever goes, damn, you're such an exotic beauty, shoot them in the foot.
Dude, that happened again when I was in New York the other day. When I was leaving at the airport, I was at the bar and like, okay, so I didn't tell this story to my chat yet or anything because I didn't get to the second half of my story time. But basically, I went a couple hours early to my flight because there was a lot of traffic. And so I wanted to just eat dinner and eat at a bar, right? Oh yeah, okay, so there were 3 bars like next to each other, back to back to back. So they asked me which one I wanted. And so then I just like went to the middle one because it looked like a cool cave. And then the guy that sat there happened to be like really good looking. I'm sorry, the bartender, but I didn't know. But there was also just a bunch of women coming in and out just because they wanted to talk to him because he's like a charismatic kind of guy. Honestly, he's the kind of guy that is not my type because he is so aware of how good looking he is that he like knows and he just uses it to sleep with women all the time type beat, right? But there's nothing, I'm nothing against that if that's like the lifestyle he wants to live. Like I said go off came because he's like, yeah, no, I do these things all the time. It was a crazy conversation, a crazy long conversation. But then he was like, at first he was talking to me. He's like, well, how much you weigh? Like 140? I said, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? And I said, you think I'm fat? Like that's hella overweight for my height. And he's like, well, I don't know. You just, because you're wearing that jacket, you need to like take off that jacket. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? And then I did end up taking off the jacket later because it got hot. And then he like looked at me and then he was like, it definitely was the jacket. And I was like, okay. And then he was just talking to me like for a couple hours because I had nothing else to do before my flight. And then he was like, girl, where are you from? Like, you're not from here, are you? And I was like, no, what? Did you? And because I told him I was flying. He's like, wait, you're not, where are you going? You're going where? And I told him. And then he was like, wait, like, you don't seem like you're from California. And I was like, okay. What do you mean? He's like, I don't know, something more exotic, like, because you're like exotic and like beautiful.
Girl. I would have stopped talking to him the moment he said, how much do you weigh? It's a jacket. I would have just been like, how much do you weigh?
Dude, it was,
fuck? That's
he
so
told me how much
disgusting.
he weighed too, yeah. And then I was just, well, because he was pretty funny, to be honest, because I was bored and it was funny to like hear his life story. Well, I know I'm never gonna see him again and I was bored. So I just heard like his 30 different jobs that he had in his whole life story. And then I kept saying like, damn, you should never call a woman fat or ask a woman their weight and then say something that high. You gotta go lower, bro. Like you gotta go lower. And then I'm like, is it because of the jacket? And then one of the employees walked by and said like, yeah, it's because of your jacket. I was like, what the fuck? And then some other guy came to sit at the bar when I started to leave. And then like, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm too young to have kids. Like I'm trying to be free, you know, I'm not trying to commit or anything because I'm just trying to be free, you know, unless I meet the right girl. And then he looked at me and I was like, ah, that's so crazy. Hope you have that. He's like, yeah, I had a woman that I meet at this bar that tried to like fly me out to their place, which, you know, I'm down for, but like, I'm not trying to like settle down. And I said, okay. And then the guy at the bar too was all, well, you should just do it, start a family. And then he said, wow, with who? And then he pointed to me. The guy at the bar pointed at me. And then I said, nah, man, he called me fat. And then the guy was like, what the fuck? What are you doing calling a woman fat, you fucking weirdo? And then I left away when he started yelling at the guy.
Okay, I'm never going to America, bro. If that conversation happened to me, I would have literally left the moment he opened his mouth.
Oh no, that's just what happens when I exist. Those kinds of situations just appear out of thin air. So don't worry. That's why when you and I hang out together, you're gonna see these things happen all the time.
If that happens to you and we're hanging out IRL, I will give one snide comment, and if you don't leave, I'll leave without you, but I'll sit like right behind